See, I can't even believe that I have to make a show like this. That I have to address shit like this. I've honestly, my whole life, believed that pedophiles are an extreme minority in society. That there are very few pedophiles. I knew it was evil and sick and twisted, but I thought, well, there's just a few fucking instances of this. Sure, I had a cousin who was molested by, some sicko or whatever the fuck, but, that's an isolated incident. But the more I look at these fucking scumbag motherfuckers on the internet, people like Digibro and his fucking sick perversions, and the fact that there's tons of people like this who try and enable it and support it, like Dick Masterson, I have no choice. I have to address it. It's fucking disgusting. It's sick. It's unacceptable. And there shouldn't be anyone defending it. But this fucking Mexican Jew cocksucker will sit there and defend it. Say it's fine to jerk off to pictures of little children. Children! They're just drawings, bro. That doesn't enable or strengthen their attraction to children! Children! What the fuck? What the fuck? Woo! It's so fun and crazy and wacky, guys. Isn't this a great troll? To defend pedophiles! What a great troll! I was just pretending to be a pedophile! What the fuck, Dax is the diddler? What a sick fuck! It's enough of this fucking music and all this horse shit. I'm gonna play an audio clip for you fucking cocksuckers of Dax Herrera saying if he was a pedophile, he wouldn't seek help.
People from going to get help. So this is something I keep finding over and over in the literature that I read. Pedophilia is considered a psychiatric disorder, not a moral failure. I was talking to a friend a while back who I said...
it's both.
I said, obviously nobody is in favor of pedophilia, right? But I said, should...
No, but Dax is. He thinks it's good to jerk off to children.
Should we demonize these people to the extent that we are? Because you wouldn't say, like, an autistic person who committed a crime or did something inappropriate, like that book and movie of Mice and Men. Basically, Lenny, George's brother...
Before, because it's going to take a few seconds to get there. Because I want to give you guys a little bit of context. So this is from the biggest debate in the universe. Maddox is arguing that pedophiles are the biggest problem in the universe. Dax Herrera has chose to argue audiophiles are worse than pedophiles. Even as a joke. It's a fucking disgusting joke to make. Look, I joke about a lot of shit, and I have a funny ha-ha-ha time. I'm a pretty libertarian guy. But we all should draw the line. Everybody draws the line. I thought. At children and animals. Apparently not. Apparently not. You fucking sick fucks. Do I talk about Ethan Ralph and what a slime ball and what a sleaze he is. This is actually worse. Because what Dick has been doing this past number of days is enabling children to be fucking molested, have their lives fucked up forever. The trauma that's inflicted when a child gets molested, it never goes away. They'll never be the same. He doesn't care. He thinks it's funny. Yeah, it's so fucking funny. I'd like to see it if it was your fucking brother or your son or your daughter. Oh, you'll never have children because you're a fucking loser and a degenerate. That's right. Fucking piece of shit. But let's hear him.
Learning development issues or something like that. And near the end of the movie...
I thought he was full on retarded.
Well, he may have been, and that's the correct term we like to use. And near the end of the movie, he accidentally kills someone, and the punishment he got, they hunted him down and wanted to kill him, right?
Yeah.
Is that just?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess that's the end of this debate.
See, at least he agreed there. He agrees in 2016, this is fucking 4 years ago, that pedophiles should be killed. But on Twitter with me the other day, suddenly that's hate speech to say pedophiles should be killed. But he doesn't believe in hate speech, folks. He just says that it's hate speech to say pedophiles could be killed. But here he is guilty of the same hate speech, you know.
What do you want him to do? Sit him down? Sit him down and talk to him about it? Lenny from a jackass? Lenny from Of Mice and Men. We'll take
You know what you do? Do you know what you do, Dax? No, you bring them on your show and make money off of their illness. That's what you do, right? You don't just sit them down and talk to them. You profit off them. Give them a platform to grow their brand and make even more money. That's what you do with pedophiles like Did You Bro? That's what you do. That's what I said, and it's because it's true that's what I said.
Very specific example.
Yeah.
And he just murdered someone.
Sure.
And this is like the Dust Bowl, wasn't it? Like,
yeah.
we don't have Obamacare yet. Yeah, we gotta kill that guy.
Yeah,
We don't have the resources to handle a 300-pound retarded guy in the middle of Iowa, right?
Yeah,
Gotta
right.
get rid of him.
Great.
But that's not us anymore.
Great
That's what
solution.
you're saying.
Yeah.
It's a solution for the time.
Sure, Dick. Great solution. It's a great solution for the time. There was no other remedy they could have done. They couldn't have locked him up or anything. They just had to shoot him point blank.
Locked him up? Then you gotta get a jailer there. You gotta do a whole bunch. You gotta go through a trial.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, they should have just put him in a chokehold, huh? Very timely. According to Fred Berlin, a psychiatrist and director for the Sexual Behavior Unit at Johns Hopkins, we don't know why we experience the sexual desires that we do. For so long, we've looked at this as if it's simply a moral issue. People are supposed to have certain attractions, and often society said if you experience a different kind of sexual temptation or feelings, you're not as morally worthy a person. He said that it's not someone's fault that they have the condition, but it is their responsibility to do something about it.
No, it is their fault. You know what? No, I'm not going to go that far. Because a lot of the time, the reason these pedophiles exist in the first place is because they were molested. That's how they reproduce, is by molesting other children, fucking them up with so much trauma that then they end up becoming pedophiles. But ultimately, it is their fault. It is their fault because they choose to act out on it. And my reason why we shouldn't allow lolly is very simple. It allows them, enables them to continue that fantasy. And to the point where the attraction will grow so strong and it won't be enough to have the lolly porn that then they will molest a fucking child. We shouldn't enable it at all. People say, oh, it's an outlet. It's an outlet to allow them to get those urges out. You really think it's going to get those urges out? It's going to strengthen them. It's going to strengthen them. And it's like with drugs. One bowl, when you first start smoking weed, is enough for the whole day. Then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 10. Then it's not enough just to smoke weed. So you start drinking and smoking weed at the same time. Then maybe you start throwing in a bump of Coke. It's the same thing with porn. The vanilla stuff doesn't get you off anymore, so you go into BDSM or you go into some weird shit. It's the same with lolly. Once they've had enough of the fantasy of the porn, they're gonna want to fucking rape children.
Telling me that someone has pedophilia is like someone saying about me that I'm heterosexual. It doesn't tell you whether I'm kind, cruel, introverted, or extroverted, caring or not caring, intelligent or not intelligent.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, what's your opinion on this?
Well, it's a tricky one, man. I think that first of all, just the amount of intense hatred people have towards pedophiles, and myself included, it's a disgusting, heinous act.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if we stop trying to say it's a moral failing, like what this professor's suggesting, and saying that it is a psychiatric...
It is a moral failing. And a psychiatric failing. It's just fucking evil. There aren't many things you can look at and you go, that's fucking evil. That's just evil, and everyone will agree. But you know, this isn't one of them, I guess, because Dax will say it's righteous to molest children. It's righteous to look at child pornography. He thinks it's righteous. He thinks it's righteous to allow people to jerk off to lolicon. That's what he thinks. That's what he thinks. Because the founding fathers intended when they wrote the First Amendment to protect the minority of child molesters from the tyranny of the majority who wished that the child molesters were dead. The founding fathers, when they envisioned that document to protect the liberties of man, the first and primary objective was to make sure that pedophiles could abuse children. That's what Dax believes.
Disorder, and we look at it in terms of somebody who's clinically ill and then they need treatment, then maybe we can start to solve this problem. Because by deterring people from coming forward and trying to get help, it's not solving anything.
That's not a good idea. No. You know what's interesting? When you said you were bringing this in, I looked into it a little bit, because I always thought that pedophiles came from like Red Dragon, Hannibal Lecter kind of events, where they were like a boy as a kid and their mom dressed them up as a girl until they were like 8 years old, right? Or they were molested themselves. But then I found all this brain evidence that's like, well, getting molested as a kid doesn't make you left-handed, right?
Well, we don't know.
I'd be willing to bet that it doesn't.
You come in, your penmanship's really bad the next day. Oh, you gotta send him down to the counselor.
Arrest his parents.
Arrest his parents.
No tolerance.
Yeah.
And then the white matter thing. The white matter thing was especially interesting to me because it means the areas of your brain can't communicate with one another. So impulses you have in one compartment of your brain get sent to the other ones, and they get all garbled up and lost in transmission. So it's like, okay, well, if that's the problem, you know what else I found? These weird communities online where pedophiles were like supporting each other not being pedophiles.
Yeah.
Because if you imagine it, like, and every document I've read was tripping over themselves to not call it a sexual orientation because they didn't want to offend gay people.
Right.
Which is like, okay, whatever. So it's not a sexual orientation. It's just a way that your sexuality is oriented. Right?
Okay.
So that's what we'll call it. That's what we'll call it.
Right.
That's what we'll call what it is. It's like, I imagine, like, what if being heterosexual was like a horrible and heinous thing, right?
Yeah.
Could I not do that forever with support? Maybe.
To stop being a heterosexual?
Yeah. Like, and just not have sex ever? Like, not gratify any of my sexual urges with, like, a person? You know, if it was the same thing, like, you know, mapping being a regular dude to being a pedophile. Like, what if it's in your brain and it's unfixable?
Yeah.
Could I go through life like that with support? That's my question, because that's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
If all this brain shit is real, that's what we're looking at.
I can't give you an educated answer about that.
I apologize. It's going to be probably another couple minutes before this particular audio clip comes up. But I'm giving him the full benefit of the context here, right? I'm giving him the full benefit of his context. He did a whole debate saying that audiophiles are worse than pedophiles. And I'm giving you some full context to the statement he's going to make, which is that if Dick Masterson was a pedophile, he wouldn't seek help because it would be part of his nature, just the same as if he's heterosexual. I think that if you can't change that, you need to be killed. That's what I think. I think that if it's unfixable, you are such a danger and menace to society, and you are so evil and fucked up, you need to be killed. That's what I believe. I don't care if people have a problem with that. I don't care if Dax Herrera says that it's hate speech or Dick Masterson says it's hate speech to say that pedophiles should be hung from the neck until dead if they can't be fixed. I'm sorry. I care about children. I'm not trying to be a moral fag. And you have faggots in the chat saying that's not very Christian. You know, Jesus said put a millstone around their neck and throw them into the sea. So shut your fucking whore mouth, you atheist swine filth.
That's something that you really have to think about.
That's not
because
Christian.
Imagine if you had this urge or impulse your entire life and you were simply told that cognitively it's wrong and you need to fix it and you need to just simply not do it. I don't think that's the solution so much as actually solving the problem. Because if you just simply deny the impulses, because I'm also familiar with this group of pedophiles who've come forward who said they are non-offending pedophiles, but they are attracted to children. One of them is a 17-year-old kid, and he's trying to reach out to help, and people are still demonizing this guy. I'm like, guys, you need to chill out a little bit and just at least talk to him and figure out like
why
the solution. This guy's saying, "Hey, I need help." Yeah. Right? Before I do anything wrong. I don't know, man. I don't know what the solution is.
Well, it's a hell of a problem, Maddox.
Yeah, it is. I got a little bit more. Judith Becker, a psychiatrist and professor at the University of Arizona, this is, again, from the Daily Beast. She conducted a cognitive behavioral therapy for some of these pedophiles, right, trying to solve the problem. She found that some pedophiles say that in their involvement with children, they've actually regarded themselves as being of the same age as their victims. It's kind of interesting. During these encounters, Becker said that it's as if they slipped back into a much earlier...
Some of this is Maddox. Maddox is talking about this study, okay? Maddox is saying pedophiles are the biggest problem in the universe. Dick is saying audiophiles are the biggest problem in the universe. I just wanted to very quickly play the audio clip, but I decided to give it a few minutes of context, so just bear with us.
Development, or perhaps never graduated beyond that in the first place. And Becker also points out that many pedophiles don't operate with cold clarity about the ethics of what they're doing. Instead, they weave a cognitive distortion that absolves them of guilt or responsibility. They say things like, well, the child didn't say no, or it happened to me, therefore it's okay, or I love the child. They actually think that they're in love with the child.
Oh, yeah. That now we got a Lenny situation happening.
Yeah.
That can't be fixed or dealt with.
If they do actually think that they're a child.
They're starting to justify it.
Well, it's
Ex-a-rooney.
But it is a cognitive...
But yet Digibro justifies it, Dax. And you defend it and you enable it. What are you going to say when Digibro fucking harms a child, man? What are you going to say? What are you going to say, man? Oh, that's a shame. His phone was probably hacked. And you know that you could have stopped it. You know that you could have done something to stop the child from being molested, but you let the child be molested. Is that what, you're just going to sit there and suck your own dick? Yeah, it was an impersonator, right? Fucking disgusting.
Bias. It's a cognitive distortion that they're doing.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter. That's right. That's right, Five Finger Full Price. Because he's a nihilist, he doesn't even care. He'll probably laugh. Ha 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 ha! Ha ha ha! The child was molested. Sean, can you believe it? The child was molested, Sean. Ha 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 ha! Oh, I just want to nail this guy to a fucking cross. To a fucking tree and let him just fucking hang off it by fucking nails as he chokes on his own fucking blood. Just thinking about it.
And in the movie, Lenny was he was like a dumb dog. Like, he didn't know anything.
Didn't he say, wasn't it his excuse that he was just like petting her?
He was petting her.
Yeah.
And he broke her.
He
broke her. He had a childlike mind. He didn't understand his own strength, and he killed the woman at the end of the movie. Anyway, Dick, that's my problem. Pedophiles. Big problem.
Once again, this episode is brought to you by audiblepodcast.com/biggest. Go to Unbelievable that this is your fucking problem for this week. And no solution, not even close to a solution.
And Dick, that's not the show.
I'm sure Audible really appreciates it.
Yeah, for some reason, every time they sponsor an episode, we have this big catastrophe clusterfuck of a disgusting problem. Wasn't female genital mutilation the last one they sponsored?
Maybe.
Jesus Christ, Maddox, you really hate ads.
Yeah.
I love you, Maddox.
There we go. At least some people love me.
Okay. Believe it or not, I have an even more horrific problem this week.
Than pedophiles?
So that was it. We play the clip just in case you don't believe that he said this during the transcript. And it's 4 years old. Yeah, I know it's 4 years old, Freezer. I know. It's as though he doesn't think people are going to look into what he said there in the past. But here's the statement I have a fucking problem with. Here is the document. You can find it at biggestproblemintheuniverse.com/trans/Maddox. BPU_30.htm. Here's the transcript. Dick Masterson. If I was a pedophile, I wouldn't go to therapy then, if that were the case. If I was a pedophile, I wouldn't go to therapy. That's Dick's position on things. That's Dick's position. And he was in his 30s. He's a grown man. This isn't some 15-year-old edgy kid on the internet. And you say, oh, people are saying the emphasis on if. Even in the hypothetical, it's fucked up. He probably is a pedophile, to be honest, because I want to show you guys the things that he is saying. The things that he is saying on Twitter. So remember, Faith Vickers, who he's talking about in this tweet, is 18 years old. And he's talking about the relationship with the ex-boyfriend. I will do that shit right out in the open. Someone ought to arrest that whore for 5 years of failing to put out. Poor Chris. She should have put out at 13. That's what Dick says. She should have had sex at 13. That's not even... Look at this. I am a sophisticated gentleman who realizes that child pornography is okay. I repeat, Dick Masterson is a sophisticated gentleman who realizes that child pornography is okay. Drawings aren't sex. Speech isn't action. Derp. Amazing. Drawings aren't sex. Speech isn't action. First of all, this isn't even speech. Do you really think that when the Founding Fathers wrote the First Amendment, they had this in mind? For people to jerk off to anime pictures of children? Is that what you think? Is that what you think? I understand that you're going to try and take it to, and he did try and take it there this morning with, oh, well, when the Founding Fathers wrote the Second Amendment, of course they intended for assault weapons and all this sort of thing, and you're a fucking idiot if you... No, you fucking dipshit. Of course the Founding Fathers, when they wrote the Second Amendment, guaranteed everybody's right to firearms, no matter what kind, because they knew that government could turn tyrannical. They knew this firsthand. But when the founders wrote the First Amendment, in order to protect us from the government and able to organize and have speech and have dissent, they did not even possibly comprehend. They might have comprehended pornography, which, by the way, was illegal in the United States for a very long time. So even base pornography that's acceptable today, if you're an originalist and you interpret the Constitution as it was written by the people who wrote it there, you would say that we couldn't even have any pornography. But even if you accept that, they never, ever would have accepted child pornography, never, ever would have accepted lolicon. They just couldn't even comprehend it. But this guy wants to try and stand on the Constitution as his defense for this. Just fucking crazy. Just fucking crazy. It's not speech. It's not art. It's obscene. And I'm sorry to sound like Jerry fucking Falwell in The People versus Larry Flint. I'm sorry. I don't want there to be fucking walls drawn up in places where we never thought there would be walls, but I do. I do want to protect children. And I know that's the rallying cry of every crazy fucking soccer mom ever, that they want to protect the children. But in this particular instance, yes, we need to protect the fucking children. Yes. And again, this is already against the law. It's not like I'm fucking crazy. It's not covered under the First Amendment. It's already illegal under United States obscenity laws, lolicon is, Dick. You are the one that is trying to argue for reform and change in order to enable pedophiles. This is what you are arguing. I mean, look at this now. Somebody says, bro, if you jerk off to yaoi all the time, you're gay. Why is lolly different? He goes, you like to see porn with small limp cocks. That's not a real response there. Here he goes, I am a sophisticated gentleman who realizes that pornography is fantasy and often a way for people to cope with childhood trauma. Unless you're suggesting that women who have rape fantasies support sexual assault. Are you suggesting that, Karen? Not everybody is a Karen there, Dick. Especially like a man in his fucking mid-30s or 40s like Hef there. That's not even addressing what he's trying to say here. Pornography is not just a fantasy. Pornography is you gratifying your sexual desires which you would rather gratify in real life, but because you do not have the means to do so at the present moment, you are gratifying those sexual desires through pornography. It is an expressed desire of what you would like to do. When you see it in pornography, you would like to do this in real life, and you will if you have the opportunity to act on it. So when they're jerking off to pictures of children, little children, you don't think they're going to want to have sex with little children. If there's even a 1% chance that it's going to lead to a child being raped, it shouldn't be allowed, and you know it does. You know it does. And it's just fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting that you enable it. Even Toad McJudas, he can't even fucking believe this. The distinct difference between fantasizing about being raped and fucking kids is that one is fantasizing about being raped and one is fantasizing about fucking kids. I have to say the worst thing about libertarians is the metaphors. Toad making all the sense in the world. Wait a minute. How do you know lolly people don't imagine that they're the kid? Ah! I need to calm down. Look, I have been trying my fucking best for the last fucking 2 days. The last 2 days to let this go. To try and be like, he's just kidding. Nobody actually thinks this shit. It's an epic troll there. But come on, guys. Even if this is a troll, a lot of people are going to take this seriously. A lot of people will try and use these arguments to defend this shit. And you know what this is going to lead to? It's going to lead to children being harmed. Yes, it will. If even one child is harmed as a result of this shit, oh my God. And it's not fake. Like, this isn't like the fake morality hour. Oh my God, did you hear that he said the word fuck? Oh. This isn't the fake morality hour. Oh my God, somebody drank a beer. Somebody had a toke of marijuana. No, this is somebody defending the exploitation of children. This isn't the fake morality hour. This isn't me on a hug box, soapbox, whatever the fuck you want to call it, screaming about how the world's wrong, you know, and I'm right. No, this is just fucking disgusting. This is disgusting. And it cannot stand. And if we tolerate this man, and if we allow this man to have any sort of voice anywhere, we are actually actively allowing children to be harmed. I'm not saying that he doesn't have a right to his freedom of speech. He does. But his speech is actually becoming fucking dangerous. And we should not allow that to go unanswered. There are consequences to speech like this. When the SJWs say that speech have consequences, they are right. When you say shit like this, when you say that we should allow the children to be molested, or we should allow the child predators to fucking jerk off to this shit and become more hopelessly addicted to fucking molesting children, it's dangerous. And you have to face consequences for that. I'm sorry. I'm not one, like, this is one thing. If he comes out and says, look, it's all jokes, it's all trolling, I'm sorry, then it won't be as bad. But I'm just saying, like, holy fuck, man. Holy fuck. This is fucked. It's not allowed. It's unacceptable. I'm sorry. It's unacceptable. We can't allow this shit. I won't allow it. I just won't. Dax the Diddler, indeed there, Trelane, the based fucking effort poster. Does Patreon know about this? I wouldn't encourage anybody to do that, because that would be deplatforming and evil, right? That's SJW tactics, right? Fuck these fucking people, man. Because all they're going to say is, I'm the SJW, I'm the soccer mom, I'm an evil moral fag because I don't want children to be exploited or raped. That's what they'll say, and that's what they'll call you too. You're the SJW. You're the SJW PPP, even though you hold completely conservative views in every sphere. Fuck you, you slime. But here comes Hef. Here comes based Hef with some fucking logic. You know, he's a sophisticated gentleman who realizes that pornography is fantasy. Holy fuck. Why in the fuck would you go out of your way to befriend this person after a statement like this? Equating a woman having rape fantasies to grown adults fantasizing about fucking kids is disingenuous at best. In that scenario, the woman would be the victim and the fantasizer, would be a child predator. Are you okay with people fantasizing about diddling kids? I don't care what people fantasize about, Karen. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that Jeffrey Dahmer had fantasies about eating people. He doesn't care. It doesn't affect him personally, so he doesn't care. When other people get raped or murdered or eaten alive by fucking cannibals or children get molested, he doesn't care. Guys, I expect, okay, he's a degenerate, he's a libertarian, he's a nihilist, he's in Gen X, all these fucking things, right? But there has to be a line drawn somewhere, man. There has to be a line. Otherwise, why have laws? Why have a society at all? I guess this guy doesn't want laws. He doesn't want a society. He wants a wild fucking West. He wants a Wild West where people are free to molest children and fucking shoot heroin and die in the street. Fucking every woman's a whore in a fucking brothel. That's what he wants. That's what he wants. He just wants a decadent and depraved fucking society with no boundaries and no laws. People are in here trying to defend it right now, Dax dick riders. How about you fucking go hang yourselves straight the fuck up? Just to be 100% clear on this, you're completely fine with your friends jacking it to the ideas of kids being fucked. What do you think he's going to say? You're thinking about it now, aren't you? Why are you okay with it? That doesn't answer my question. Feeble attempt at deflection. This is what he does, his fucking pilpul and his fucking Jew tactics, his Mexican Jewry. Fuck me. You are imagining guys beating off to child porn. Why would you do that? I'm not imagining it when your friend is actually doing it. The only thing I'm trying to imagine is why you would be okay with that. Why are you afraid to answer my question? Man, stop bringing your weird fantasies of guys jacking off to CP to my timeline. I don't want to hear about your weird fantasies. I'm asking for a direct response to a straightforward question, and you don't seem comfortable providing an answer. I wonder why. Now, could you so kindly answer my question? And he doesn't. So, upon me seeing all this fucking shit, I fucking snapped. I snapped a little bit on Twitter because I just asked, and this is still pinned. Wow, why does LA-based comedian love pedophiles so much and defend them so vigorously? I get you're a libertarian, but fuck, man. You have to draw a line somewhere. Why don't you cut ties with these sickos? Something fishy. It's sickening and depraved, Dax, and it is sickening and depraved. You have to ask yourself, why would you want to be associated with that fucking person? A transsexual pedophile who jerks off to fucking pictures of children. You seriously have to ask yourself that. I don't think he has a good answer. I really don't think he has a good answer. Now, here's what I say. If LA-based comedian really thinks that pedophiles getting the death penalty is hate speech, I don't think he has any credibility on anything. And he himself should probably be hung from the neck until death. Because he's this libertarian who says he's against hate speech, all this fucking shit. If he's for hate speech when it comes to defending pedophiles, I don't think he has any credibility on anything. He goes, I don't believe in hate speech, you dingus. And I go, explain what you meant by this. So as a father, you'd like lollies to express their fetishes less, so they're harder to avoid. Daka says, I'd like them lined up and killed. That's dumb. You understand that hate speech is a thing, right? So read this, and you fucking tell me. You tell me if that doesn't imply that he supports hate speech. You tell me. Like, how do you defend this? I say, explain what you meant by this. He goes, hate speech is the punishment of thought crime, which this person is advocating for, without realizing that racism and jokes would be first on the hate speech chopping block, not lolicon. First of all, that's not even true. Lolicon is already banned as obscenity. So it's not true, in fact, that racism would be criminalized under hate speech first, because that's not the case. And this isn't speech. This isn't speech what these fucking people are doing. It's an obscene crime against humanity. It degrades each and every human being. When these people jerk off to pictures of children, they demean and degrade the dignity of the entire human race. Every single human being's worth is lessened slightly because these people have given into their craven-based animalistic desires. That's the truth. That's the truth. It's a crime against humanity. It's a crime against human dignity and human worth. That's what it is. And I'm not afraid to call it out for exactly what it is. And I don't give a shit. I don't care that you motherfuckers are going to defend it. I don't care. I won't let it happen. I won't live in a society where 13-year-old girls are pimped out on the corner because you and Stefan Molyneux think that that's what liberty is. Liberty, they believe that liberty is the right to sell your 13-year-old daughter into sex slavery on the corner. That's what these people believe. That's not what liberty is about. And I'm a guy who even still has a lot of libertarian sympathies and leanings. But these cocksuckers will never, ever, 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 ever be allowed to have any sort of power, or we are going to live in that fucked up dystopia. They fucking can't. Bohica, you shut your fucking mouth. What the Old Testament says is not what Christians are under today, and you know that if you're not ignorant and you make fake arguments to try and say, the Bible says that, I gotcha. Just shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about, and you're just pig ignorant. And I'm tired of stupid atheists like you who don't understand anything coming in here to try and tell people like me who do know what's going on and aren't fucking blind to the world what's happening. Sorry, bud. You're defending children being sold on the corner. That's what you're defending. So I say to him, because this is crazy. Like, look at this shit. So molesting children is thought crime, Dick? I thank Jesus every day. There is a hell for people like you to be tormented for all eternity. LOL, no, looking at drawings is a thought crime. You really think these pedophiles who masturbate to children won't ever molest children? Do you jerk off to children? Is it cool? Is it acceptable? Tell us about how you love children, you sick fuck. Look at him go. Look at him go. I don't think jerking off to drawings means you're a pedophile, no. Let me ask you this. If you had to look at one or the other, which would you choose? Lolicon or real child porn. I think Twitter got rid of my reply to this, but I said to him, the fact that you even made that an option means that you are a sick fuck and you should be killed. I choose to look at neither. Which do you jerk off to, Dick? What gets you fucking hot and horny, you fucking sicko? Is it the real child porn? Are you onto the hard stuff? Or are you just fucking jerking off to the lolicon? You fucking degenerate. That's basically what I said. And I think Twitter removed it because, once again, Dick is a faggot motherfucker. How is jerking off to a depiction of a minor not pedophilia? It's not molestation, but it's still someone who is sexually titillated between features associated with children. What's the difference between racism and jokes then? Or traps and women? Hey, guess what? If a joke's about race and it's a racist joke, who gives a shit? That shouldn't be a crime. This is just fucking crazy. Like the logic that this guy does. The fucking mental gymnastics. The mental gymnastics here. What are you talking about? I'm not advocating that we criminalize lolicon or make hate speech a thing. I'm just saying that if someone is sexually aroused by depictions of children, they are sexually attracted to children. That is a pedophile. The Baron is making so much sense. Repeating myself would be insanity. What's insanity is that you think that this is acceptable. That you think that this is normal. That's what's insanity. That's what's insanity, buddy. It's just constant pill pull. It's constant deflection. It doesn't end here. You think that that's where this ends? No. No, this keeps going. This keeps going. Dick tries to say, I don't know if I can find the tweet here, but he says that it's not Christian of me to say that child molesters should be killed. He says Jesus would love everyone. And I just say, according to LA-based comedian, Jesus just loved child molesters. Amazing. How about, if you've never read the Bible, don't try to use it as a battering stick against people who have. You know, and you've got these fucking degenerates who are defending it. Who are defending it. Constantly defending this. It's just crazy. Has Jim reacted? No, of course not. Of course not. Because these are his internet friends. And he can't go against them. The reality is, he, up until a few months ago, was reliant on this to say a fucking word. Not a peep will come from fucking Daddy Jim's mouth, even though he said he hates when people fuck with children and things that are weaker than them. But he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. And I just say, I tweet out, like, look at what I'm tweeting. This shit makes me so angry. How someone can openly defend pedophilia is beyond my understanding. I thought this was so basic, like 2 + 2, but apparently I was wrong. I was wrong. Somebody asked, why not stream with both of you? Because LA-based comedian is scared after I sodomized him and the lawyer at the same time last time. That's why. That's why it's not going to happen, because he's scared and he's a little pussy and he's a bitch and he knows. He knows if he comes on a stream and he defends Lolly to my fucking face, I am going to tear him such a new asshole. And everybody is going to know what a sick fucking man he is. And it's going to destroy his entire his whole life. You can't do what he's doing and think that there aren't going to be any consequences. Then he tries to say, well, it's gay that he says sodomy is a sin. It's just these same, lame gotcha moments. He understands what I meant by that. But he's like, you're gay. So I just say, you're admitting to being a bitch faggot, afraid to defend lolly and pedophilia in the public arena. I don't blame you. Because if you take this debate, you will ruin your life. And he will. So you know what he does? He acts like a big bitch. I say, I'll face both Dick Masterson and Digibro. 2 versus 1 in the Kinodrome. I'd face them both at the same time. I'm giving him a handicap that'd be 2-on-1. Him and the pedophile versus me in my fucking home court of the Kinodrome. Okay? Because at least I would get a fair hearing then. It's 2-on-1. And we're going to go back and forth. Nobody's mics are going to be turned down. I offer him a full-on handicap. It's 2-on-1. You and Digibro against me on the Kinodrome. Okay? Do you want to know what he does? Do you want to know what he does there, guys? His fucking amazing, his amazing response to this. Are you ready? Yeah, on my show. Let's do this. Cage match, August 23rd. Who has the word of God? And he says, Ralph will be there. Nick Recato will be there. There's Doug 10 Nepal, Digibro, Gator, and Josh. And he says, if you back out, you're a bitch. So he already backed out. He couldn't take me 2-on-1. I give him a handicap of 2-on-1. He wants to make it 6v1. With Josh as the moderator. Like, think of this. As if I'm going to agree to that. First of all, I'm not going to go on his show under any circumstances because this fucking swine shouldn't make a fucking penny. He's a fucking pig and a pedophile apologist, if not an outright pedophile. He said on his show he's had sex with 15 and 16-year-old girls, which technically, actually, that makes him an pedophile. Okay, whatever the fuck there, you sick pedophile apologist there. But the reality of it is, it's just pathetic and cowardly. I told him 2 versus 1. I would give him 2 versus 1, but he knows in a 2v1 he loses. He lost the 2v1 with a lawyer last time. Him and a lawyer couldn't defend New Project 2 last time. So how the fuck in a 2v1, he says, am I going to be able to defend pedophilia? So let me do a 6v1 gangbang style fucking video where we mute PPP's microphone and say he left the show, because that's what they'll do. They'll just say, oh, he left, he quit, he's a pussy after about 5 minutes. They'll kick me from the show. Then they'll all start laughing and say, how based was it that Ralph sucked the shit off his finger? Guys, how based was it that Ralph sucked the shit off his finger? You know what Nick Recato said to this suggestion? He said Lolly is degenerate. No. So even the lawyer said no to this fucking shit because he knows 1, that Lolly's illegal, 2, defending it will ruin his life, and 3, you're a sick fuck for even suggesting something like this. You fucking slime. You know, so if you back out, you're a pussy. Then he goes... Look at this. Now he goes, I will beat off to Lolly live on August 23rd with all these fucking faggot. Dame is going to be there, guys. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Your Honor, in my client's defense, these are just drawings of children. Here's Recato. Lolly is disgusting and degenerate. Lolly is disgusting and degenerate. So there's Dick's whole fucking gay scam to try and fucking Jew me. Yeah, you're gonna come on to my show. No, buddy. I said to come on to my show and I would give you a 2-on-1 handicap with you and the pedophile. You refused because you're a pussy-ass bitch. You are a pussy-ass bitch. And then you expect me to go into a 6-on-1 situation on your show where Sean the Sheep's gonna crank down my audio, kick me from the show, and pretend like I was never on. But the thing of it is if I do come on and I tell Sean the Sheep what you've been doing, I don't know how much longer Sean the audio engineer is going to be around. Do you really think Sean wants to ruin his life defending this? Do you really think Sean is going to defend this? I don't think Sean will. I think Sean is a pretty normal, well-adjusted man who isn't going to defend Lolicon. That's what I think. Now, maybe I'm fucking wrong. Maybe Sean will just be so desperate in the gutter for fucking money that he'll just bow down and defend molesting children. But you have to think, You have to think that a grown-ass man in his 40s, you know, with a family to support or whatever, would not ruin his life and career defending this. But who knows? They're all in LA. As Freezer said, they're soulless. It's a fucking whack pack. I mean, look at what I say in response to these fucking homosexuals and their demands. If Dick won't take a 2 versus 1 on my show, he truly is a bitch and a pussy. He can put it on his feed for all I care and make money, but I won't deal with a homosexual 6v1 dog pile with Sean Sheep and Vito. It's already a handicap, you fucking jobber. I'll even go on Wild Smile as a neutral moderator or someone unbiased, but your homosexual tactics of gang raping me won't be happening. You don't fool me, Dick, you shifty Mexican grifter Jew. That's the reality. That's the reality. It won't be happening. I'm not going to be con jobbed by you like Jesse, the fucking idiot, who dropped the football and fucked it. I'm not going to be dogpiled by you fucking fags. The reality is you need me on your show. I don't need to come on your show. I'm right. I don't need to fucking really prove anything. I've already dominated you once before. Everybody knows you'd be dominated again. Everybody knows that I'm right and you're wrong, that pedophilia is wrong, that lolicon is wrong, and that you, by defending it, if you make this move and you try and defend it, I am telling you right now, you will ruin your life. It will never, ever, ever go away. And when there are statements on the record, like you saying if you were a pedophile, you wouldn't seek help, and who knows what more will be dug up from your past, statements that you have made in the thousands of hours that you've podcasted, buddy, over the years, and we compare it and we go over this record, it will never go away. You will always be known as a pedophile and a pedophile enabler. So I'm just saying, even if I did go on to your 6v1 gangbang, you would checkmate your own career and your own life. I'm just telling you that now. Even if you laugh over me and do all your fucking gay shit, you're ruining your fucking life. And Dax, I'm tired of dealing with your fucking gay minions that you send after me, like Ethan Ralph and Dame and all these they've all been blown the fuck out. They've all been exposed as jokers. It's time for you to either fucking nut up or shut the fuck up and move on. That's the situation, man. You either nut up and you defend this sex tape and you defend revenge porn and you defend lolicon and you defend all these faggots, or you cut ties, be a man, do your own show and fucking move on. Either nut up or shut the fuck up. That's all I've really got to say. What the fuck? And they're setting it up as though I'm a coward for backing out, or no, I made the challenge to you on my show, then you try and change it and then try and spin it in some Jewish way to make it look like I'm fucking afraid of you. How could anybody be afraid of a transsexual pedophile other than a child? How could anybody be afraid of a Mexican grifting Jew who hasn't said anything funny in 15 years? I don't know. I think that's all. I'm just angry. Guys, because I really didn't think that people would defend this, but they have. My God, why have you forsaken me? This world is so fucking depraved and so wicked and so wrong. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what we're going to do. But I'll tell you this, man. There is no fucking way. And we probably can't fix it. At least I can't. I don't have that power. Do you know what I do have the power to do, though? Is call out fucking bullshit like this. People who defend pedophiles. People who enable pedophiles. I have the fucking ability to call them out. And maybe it'll make a difference and maybe it won't. But at least I am fucking trying to stop this shit in its tracks before this gains traction and suddenly everybody out there thinks it's cool to jerk off to lolicon and jerk off to children. While I'm still fucking breathing air, that will never ever be. And while you're all still breathing air, let us fucking hope that it will never ever be, that this fucking degenerate gets his way. That's all. Cleanse it all with righteous fire, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, cleanse it all.